Alright, today we're diving into a topic that's been clouded by rumors, misconceptions, and frankly, a lot of unnecessary awkwardness: anal sex. Whether it's the myths about pain, pressure from partners, or the idea that it's inherently taboo, these beliefs affect how we think, feel, and communicate about it. Here's the thing: the way we approach these myths can make or break the trust and intimacy in relationships. By the end of this video, not only will you have a clear understanding of the truth about anal sex, but you'll also know how to navigate conversations about it with confidence and respect. Trust me, this isn't just about sex. It's about connection, trust, and understanding in every aspect of your relationship. Now, let's get into it. Act 1. The setup of why myths hold us back. First, let's talk about why these myths are so damaging. Think about this. How often do we let rumors or stereotypes stop us from learning the truth? Whether it's avoiding certain foods because we heard they're bad for us, or skipping opportunities because of fear, myths shape how we think and act, often in ways we don't even realize. When it comes to anal sex, the myths are especially harmful because they create fear, shame, and misinformation. For example, have you ever heard these common ones? Anal sex is always painful. It's only something people do to spice things up. Women don't actually enjoy it. It's just for men. These beliefs make people feel like they can't even ask questions without being judged. And if you can't have an honest conversation about something you're curious about, how can you ever truly understand your own preferences or your partner's? Pattern interrupt. Think about the last time you believed a myth. Maybe it was something small, like avoiding a certain kind of food because someone told you it was bad for you. Then one day you try it and it's amazing. Now imagine missing out on a deeper level of intimacy because of myths. Isn't it time to uncover the truth? Act 2. The conflict, breaking down the myths. Let's dive into the big myths one by one and unpack what's true and what's not. Myth 1. Anal sex is always painful. This is one of the most common fears, and it's not entirely without basis. Anal sex can be painful if it's approached without preparation or care. But here's the reality: pain is not inevitable. Just like any new experience, it requires understanding, communication, and preparation. What makes the difference? Lubrication. The anus doesn't produce natural lubrication like the vagina does, so using plenty of lube is non-negotiable. Patience. Rushing into anal sex without warming up is a recipe for discomfort. Taking time to relax and explore is key. Communication. Checking in with your partner and ensuring they feel comfortable is critical. When approached correctly, many people find anal sex to be not just pain-free but also pleasurable. Myth 2. Women only do it to please men. This myth is rooted in outdated and sexist ideas about women's sexuality. It assumes that women don't have agency or preferences of their own when it comes to sex. Let's be clear: women have as much right to explore their desires as anyone else. For some women, anal sex is simply not something they're interested in, and that's perfectly valid. For others, it might be something they genuinely enjoy. And for many, it's a maybe, something they're open to exploring with the right partner, under the right circumstances. The takeaway? If anal sex is on the table, it should come from mutual curiosity and respect, not pressure or obligation. Myth 3. Anal sex is dirty or unnatural. Let's bust this one wide open. The idea that anal sex is dirty often comes from a lack of understanding about hygiene. With proper preparation, anal sex is no less hygienic than any other type of sexual activity. And as for it being unnatural, that's just another way of shaming people for exploring their sexuality. The truth is, humans have been engaging in different forms of intimacy for centuries. What's natural is what feels right for you and your partner, done consensually, of course. Now, let's address the question you're probably wondering about: can anal sex actually feel good for women? You might be surprised by the science behind it. I'll explain why in just a second, so stick around. Act 3. The resolution, the truth about pleasure. So, can anal sex be pleasurable for women? The answer is yes, for some. Let's talk about the science behind why that's the case. The anus and surrounding area are packed with nerve endings, more than 8,000 to be exact. These nerve endings are highly sensitive to touch and can create intense sensations when stimulated. For some women, this stimulation can enhance arousal and even lead to orgasms. But there's more to it. For some women, Anal stimulation activates areas like the internal clitoral network or the G-spot indirectly. When combined with other forms of stimulation, the experience can be incredibly pleasurable. That said, pleasure isn't universal. Not everyone enjoys anal play, and that's perfectly normal. The most important thing is to understand what works for you and to communicate openly with your partner. Here's a quick tip. If you're curious about trying anal play, start small. Using a finger or a small toy with plenty of lubrication can help you get comfortable before trying anything more. Think of it as warming up before a workout. It makes all the difference. Act 4. The urgency of why this matters. Now that we've busted the myths and talked about the science, let's get to the heart of the matter. Why does this conversation even matter? It's not just about anal sex. It's about breaking down barriers in communication. Myths like these create unnecessary shame and silence, which can seep into other areas of your relationship. If you can't talk openly about what you want or don't want in the bedroom, how can you build trust and intimacy outside of it? Being able to talk about something as taboo as anal sex is a sign of a healthy relationship. It shows that you and your partner can be vulnerable, honest, and respectful of each other's boundaries. But here's the catch. If you're not ready to have this conversation, you might not be ready to explore it physically, and that's okay. Readiness comes from comfort and trust, not pressure or urgency. Power dynamics in intimacy. Here's one final question to consider before you explore anything new with your partner. How do the power dynamics in your relationship influence your sexual decisions? Are you both on equal footing when it comes to discussing preferences, or does one partner feel pressured? Understanding these dynamics isn't just important for intimacy, it's crucial for the overall health of your relationship. And trust me, this conversation can change everything. Myths about pain. Stay tuned for my next video, hygiene, where I'll dive deeper into this topic and how it impacts every aspect of your connection. Pleasure is possible. So, what have we learned with today? Preparation, anal sex, care, and like any aspect of intimacy, trust is deeply personal, and consent are not for everyone, and that's okay. If this video has what matters most is having opened your eyes to something judgment-free conversations with your partner. Hit that like button. It really helps more people find this kind of honest, empowering content. And don't forget to subscribe to the Intimacy Talk for more videos that dive deep into topics about sex, relationships, and how to live a wealthier, healthier life, emotionally, physically, and even financially. Before you go, check out my next video on the power dynamics of relationships. It's linked right here. It'll help you uncover patterns that could be holding you back from deeper connection, both in and out of the bedroom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.